and welcome to my channel. I'm Emerald Magnolia and I decided to make all of the characters that float around in my head at all times. I also wanted to make their bedrooms, or what I think would be in their bedrooms, because you can tell a lot about people based on just that. I love coming up with stupid characters in my free time and I have a vivid idea of what they might look like, so I figured why not just make them in The Sims since it's literally right there on my computer. This first sim I made is this girl who is obsessed with the Jak and Daxter video game trilogy. I'm not sure if any of you know what that is, but basically the first one is a collecting game, the second one is edgy, and the third one is just desert. She's a Southern Belle mother who comes into the GameStop or whatever store she got the game at and says that it doesn't work. I just don't understand why my Jak 3 game don't work. This just don't make no sense. In my mind, she's a very loving mom. She just happens to have a hyperfixation on the Jak games and really loves them for what they are. I wanted to make her because I used to watch my brother play video games instead of actually playing them myself. Jak 2 happened to be one of the games and it was the most difficult thing I have watched him play. A couple years back he ended up beating it and finally buying the other two games, and I think that was around the time this character was created. I also think she may have been inspired by Beans from Rango, especially when you hear that line where she's saying something just doesn't make any sense. Next, I made this teen called Christy Plays. She's a character from recent years and she's basically just a gamer girl bimbo. Christy is the Southern Belle's daughter who is a streamer slash YouTuber, but I think she likes Minecraft the most rather than Jak games. I imagine her with bright pink hair and almost always wearing headphones and cutesy items. I don't see her wearing the cat ear headphones though. I don't see her as that cutesy. I do, however, see her as a teen who tends to neglect her homework to play games instead, which, relatable. I think she would have a pretty good following and she would have no problem with showing her face online, but maybe that was because she forgot to turn the setting off for face cam and hasn't noticed yet because she does not edit her own videos, or watch them for that matter. As my own editor, I don't really watch back my YouTube videos unless it's been a long time since I've seen them. For example, my first video I put out was building medieval houses in Newcrest. I haven't seen that video in such a long time. But the main reason I haven't watched my previous videos is because I was actively watching them while I was editing, meaning I could probably recite the videos forwards and backwards. So I could understand why Christy Plays or her editor might not want to watch her videos after they have been edited. I also like to think that her editor doesn't say anything about the face cam because they assume it's what she wants, especially because most YouTubers show their face online. The next sim I have made is named Brandler Chad Bradson. Yes, that's his full name. He came about when I started doing a surfer boy impression around my family to get their attention by simply saying hello. Hello? I tried to make him this big burly dude with obviously the beach life aspiration. He's got blonde hair, blue eyes, and I tried to dress him in mostly island living outfits. Off camera I dressed him up completely, so if you download him he has mostly island living outfits on all of the categories. By the way, you can download The Sims and their bedrooms on my gallery, just make sure to turn on the Include Custom Content button. My ID is at Emerald Magnolia. Also, you can find all of my custom content on my Pinterest. The link is in the description. Brandler's traits are self-assured, child of the ocean, and bro. Additionally, I give him some likes and dislikes, mostly to appeal to beach life. Eventually, this dude turned into a himbo character that I would love to put in a horror movie because I love the idea of him walking down a hallway by himself and his voice echoing off the walls in his very thick surfer dude accent. I even made a movie poster for him that I recreated somewhat in a previous thumbnail I wanted as well. This is going to be split up into two different videos, but I really didn't feel like building a full house for all of these characters. If you're interested in seeing what I would do with a full house, leave a like on this video to give me motivation. Or comment, I don't know. The first bedroom I am making is the Southern Belle's, and it is going to be connected with Christy Plays because they are family, so of course they would live together. Her room is mostly made for comfort, but I decided to throw in a TV and video game console so she can play her favorite game without leaving the comfort of her room. She's got a nice reading corner as well as a place to sit when she plays her games. I made it very clean, and overall I used the cottage living pack to decorate the space. If I do a full version of her house, I was thinking I could make it a single-story home in Henford on Bagley. But to keep it consistent, I went for a more plain kind of wallpaper and decorated it with some white curtains on the window, some pictures that have brown frame and are more country-esque, and a nice big flowery rug. The corner for reading and gaming has a two-seater couch in case her daughter wants to play video games with her, and because there's a bookshelf, there's an opportunity for your Sims to buy skill-building books. If you stick around, you'll be able to see all the rooms in their full glory at the end of the video. But for now, let's move on to Christy Flay's room. I wanted to make hers pretty consistent with her mom's, so once again, I used the same wallpaper in a different color and floors in the same color. Like I said earlier, Christy is a streamer slash YouTuber, so I tried to give her a setup I thought would be super cool. I didn't want to clutter her desk too much though, because even I don't like a messy desk. And yes, I did put some mess on the ground in her room a bit later, but I felt that she would at least be good about cleaning up around her workspace, not necessarily her floor space. I covered the walls with those lights from Parenthood, as well as some posters from high school years to give off a teen room type of vibe. I wanted to aim for a maximalist room, but I haven't been wanting to go all out for rooms that I make recently. I put some gaming posters in her room as well as a lot of cutesy stuff. I loved the idea of putting a shelf behind her desk for her backdrop because I don't think she would be one to have a green screen. Those things are hard to set up, especially if you only have one that is held up by clips at the top. Christy wouldn't be one to even try and set one up. So just a shelf with some items on it worked really well. Plus, with those books from the base game, it functions just as well as a regular bookshelf with some extra decor on it. I tried to use a lot of stuff from high school years because I love all of the gaming aspects of the pack. The desk was really nice, the computer was a perfect fit for Christy, and the posters and other wall art were very nice for a teen room. Plus, I got to throw in some storytelling of what Christy does at school, which is cheerleading. Moving on to the final room, which is Brandler's room. Now, like I said earlier, I would love to put him in a horror movie setting where he is not allowed to leave the haunted house he is in. So his room is going to look a little different than you might expect. Or maybe I should say a lot different than you'd expect. Brandler, because he lives in a haunted house, lives in a very Victorian style home. The kind of home that's shown when you search for haunted houses near me. Now, the story as to why will come in a different video if you guys want me to make the full versions of the houses. But basically, Brandler's room is going to have a very Victorian, very Queen Anne type of furniture. So I used a lot from the Vampires pack, including wallpaper, flooring, the bed, the armoire, and other furniture surrounding the area. Then I went in and I added some furniture that does not go with the theme at all in the slightest. Let me remind you that Brandler is a surfer dude. I'm sure you know where this is going, and to answer your question, yes, it does look very unpleasant to the eyes. However, it's not nearly as unpleasant as my first attempt doing this. After all the Victorian furniture was in the room, I started by putting the curtains from Island Living up on the windows. That's right, we're doing a mix of Island and Victorian styles, and boy is it hard to watch. The mix of the two themes made it really difficult to make a cohesive room, but I think I did a good job. The reason I did mostly Queen Anne furniture is because of the little story I came up to go with Brandler as a character. He lives in a haunted house and he's unable to leave, and the ghostly visitors he lives with do not want him to move the original furniture out of the house. So he basically just has to live with it, which he very much does, and just incorporate the style he likes into his own room. So he starts to hang up island-themed items, some island-themed furniture, a guitar, and a basket full of beach items, as well as a ball to take with him whenever he goes surfing. He's even got a beat-up radio that he takes with him sometimes to just go and chill at the beach. Like I said, this was a very difficult mix because these two things just should not go together at all. The only way I could have made it cohesive was by picking the darker swatches of the island stuff and putting it very sparingly around the room, but it definitely shows his flamboyant personality. Let me know what you think of these rooms in the comments. Also, let me know if you guys want to see some other videos of a full house build in the future with these rooms. Make sure to subscribe if you're new, or if you just like to come back every once in a while just to hear my voice. I know you lurkers are out there. Also, check out the links in the description. They're fun, I promise. Anyways, enjoy getting a closer look at the rooms. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!